recording. And Juem, whenever you're ready, you can start.
Awesome. Alrighty, so Eileen and Sharif, you guys can help me monitor the admitting people while I
Yes,
present,
I
and
will.
then I'll
Thank
do
you.
that for you guys when Eileen presents next.
Thank you.
Awesome, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Oh my goodness. Hello?
Yeah, is everything
Oh,
okay or is it
hey,
not?
I think it's because I updated my system. I have to fix the
Oh,
security thing.
do you want me
Eileen,
to
you
go
wanna go first?
first?
Yeah,
Yeah,
can you?
I can go first. Sure.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you.
so we'll switch the order. And so let me go ahead and start mine. Okay, so first we're going to start with presenting the Global Titans Ambassador Program. And so this presentation for International Education Week is broken up into two parts. We have two signature programs where we allow CSUF students to volunteer with the Study Abroad and Global Engagement Office. One is the Ambassador Program and one is the Buddy Program. I am the programs lead for the Global Titans Ambassador Program, and my colleague Juim is the programs lead for the Global Titans Buddy Program. So we'll get into those distinctions in a bit. But basically, the Ambassador Program is for students who have completed a SAGE program. So whether they've studied abroad, studied away, did one of our virtual programs, service learning, you had to have completed a program in order to become an ambassador. And so, if you are just starting out and you know you're going to study abroad, you have time to work this in because one of the requirements, which I'll get into, is that it is a year-long service commitment, and we'll kind of get into why. So the background picture are our 9 ambassadors this year, and they are doing a fantastic job. And so let's talk a little bit about what they do. So a little bit into the introduction and the purpose of this program. All of us, Jim, Cherie, Jack, and I, we've all studied abroad before. And back in our day, we would study abroad and come back and not really know what to do with ourselves. We didn't realize that things such as reentry shock, which is the shock or the discomfort you feel after having spent some time abroad or away and then coming back to your life, and it's different, you feel different, you've grown, and that can be very hard and isolating for people, and we realize it's become something more recognized now, and there are more ambassador, more reentry type programs to help students with the reentry process. So the Global Titans Ambassador Program was created for our students. Even though they're volunteering and helping with our office, primarily it's for them. It's helping them kind of relieve some of that reentry shock. It's helping them kind of understand ways in which their SAGE program helped them develop, become more global people, become more complex people. It helps in understanding their personal development, and it helps a lot in some professional development. Our ambassadors help us execute a lot of the programming in our office. As my colleague likes to say, they're really the face of our office. And so whenever we have a student question, like if you have a question about what it's like to study in Japan or Spain, we connect you to them because I studied in London a decade ago. And so the advice I give you is not going to necessarily be 100% relevant to your current situation, but a student who recently came back from a similar program may be a better resource for you than me. And so that's kind of what they do. It's a way for them to share that energy that they come back with. They're super motivated and super excited, and a lot of the times they all believe every CSUF student should participate in a SAGE program. As a Global Titans Ambassador program, one of the key functions is that they help us reach out to other Titan students. And so I like to describe our ambassadors as real. They are representatives of the Study Abroad and Global Engagement Office. And so they are trained, they are knowledgeable, they are competent. And we put a lot of trust in them. They actually have to fill out official volunteer paperwork, and they become official representatives of our office. They are also examples of what a model study abroad or away student is, and a model alumni. So in the last couple of cycles, we're going into our third year under the Global Titan Ambassador Program. In the first year, I had a student who became an ambassador but didn't stay an ambassador. I had to let them go. And I've had applicants last year who weren't selected because they actually didn't exhibit the behavior abroad that we would want our students to do. So this is a selective process. Not everyone who submits an application gets to be an ambassador. We also encourage them to become advocates of underrepresented populations in global education. They go through a lot of diversity, inclusion, and equity training to understand that there's a history of disparity in study abroad programming, much like there is in higher education. And they consciously work to find ways to get more people to participate in global education. And then they focus a lot on leaders, becoming leaders in global education and student engagement at CSUF. And so that's a little bit about that. Some of the strengths of this program that the students especially really enjoy is they really enjoy the experience and the professional development. As I mentioned, is that they go through a lot of trainings. Just this summer, because of COVID-19, we did virtual trainings, and I didn't want them to have Zoom fatigue. So we broke up usually a one-day training into 8 different trainings. So there are 8 different trainings that all last about an hour, and sometimes they went over because there's so much info, but they're very knowledgeable. They do a lot of public speaking. That's a lot of the activities that they do, whether it's in person. It used to be tabling or information sessions, a little bit of peer advising, some presentations, organizational skills. They have to be very organized in order to balance things like their regular schoolwork, their jobs, their home responsibilities on top of this year-long commitment that they're signing on to. They get experience with office culture. I was going to say environment, but we're not really in the office right now. But even just things like office culture, understanding how things at a large public institution work. Opportunities, sometimes we forward them things that we get as advisors, and a lot of the times they're really great opportunities like scholarships. And then also recommendations, because they do so much for us. They get to walk away with a really strong recommendation that's going to help them in things like when they're applying for internships, scholarships, fellowships, graduate school, and work opportunities. Another thing that they really enjoy, especially this year, is the social engagement. A lot of the times they really see the value and the contributions that they're making when they're talking to and helping other students want to study abroad or to participate in a SAGE program. They enjoy working with each other as ambassadors. They have fun. They've told me they really like working with the SAGE team, and just the additional networking that they get to do. And the other strength of this program is, since we're going into our third year, it's kind of learning how to walk. So we went through a really slow crawl, and now we're walking, but there's still room for growth and development. And a lot of that growth and development comes from the students. They kind of think, or the ambassadors, they think about what direction they want to go in. They think about how they want to continue to build the ambassador program. So we do this together. It's not a set thing where I say this is what we're going to do. They kind of give us suggestions and feedback in terms of how they want to develop their program. Some other strengths of the program. Recently, I asked them what 3 words would they use to describe their experience on we call it the GTA program for short, on the GTA program so far. So they got to choose up to 3 words to describe the program, and right in the center, it says fun. That means most students wrote that it was fun. A lot of them said it was exciting, refreshing, engaging, collaborative. And then some students said things like, it's challenging, and that they were, doing community building, that they were experiencing some things, that they were growing, and that it's a commitment, that it's informative, humbling, enriching, collaborative, or collaboration, that they were making connections, and that it is immersive. So I kind of want to play a little sample of a video that our ambassadors helped us make. And so some history for this video is that in the in the summer, we were approached by the folks who did the orientations over the summer, and they said, "Can you give us a 2-minute video on your office?" And we didn't have one, and so we asked our ambassadors to make that video for us, and the product came out amazing. So this is we helped them write the script and of course get it approved by our departments, but a lot of this was edited by our ambassadors, recorded by our ambassadors, put together in terms of the order, the slideshows, reaching out to students. So this is the work of the Global Titans ambassadors. Ooh.
Is there sound any?
Oh, 1 second. I forgot I have my headphones on, so you probably can't hear the sound. Sorry, thank you for checking. Can you hear me now?
I could hear you, but I can't hear. Well,
Oh, that's okay. Well, I forget that the when I have my headphones in, I can't play video for you to hear. So let me try that again. Thank you so much. All right.
Hi, my name is Vanessa and I'm a Global Titans Ambassador at Cal State University Fullerton. Here in the Global Engagement Office, we have a wide range of programs that all students can take advantage of during their time here at CSUF. We offer programs that are as short as 1 week or as long as a year. CSUF students have participated in global programs all over the world in places like Mexico, the UK, Italy, South Africa.
Can you hear it?
I could hear it, but the screen is just on Gina Shetty. Is that?
It's on Gina Shetty. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Thanks. Let's see. Let me stop sharing real quick and let me try that again. Having some technical difficulties today. Let's try this one. Is that better?
Hi, my name is Vanessa and I'm a Global Titans Ambassador at Cal State University.
Can you see it now?
It works now. Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Fullerton. Here in the Global Engagement Office, we have a wide range of programs that all students can take advantage of during their time here at CSUF. We offer programs that are as short as 1 week or as long as a year. CSUF students have participated in global programs all over the world in places like Mexico, the UK, Italy, South Africa, South Korea, Japan, Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, and Cuba. We offer programs that are open to all majors or that are major specific, as well as programs for first-year students to graduate students. There's something for everyone. It's also helpful to note that there are a ton of scholarships available and financial aid may be used to help fund your experience. The Global Engagement Office is also finding more ways to bring the world to you through virtual programs and internships and special on-campus events. Start your journey by visiting our website at extension.fullerton.edu/studyabroad/. It all starts with attending a general information session where you can learn more about the programs we offer and have your questions answered by a Global Titan ambassador like myself who has participated in one of our programs. From there, you can use our website to click the Search Programs button to research different programs offered at CSUF, set up an advising appointment with one of our advisors, drop-in advising is also available, and apply online to one of our programs. Follow us on Instagram at Titans Abroad or on Facebook at CSUF Study Abroad to stay updated with our Global Titan community. I'm happy to say that studying abroad was the best decision I made during my time at CSUF. It made me realize many wonderful things about the world, and it will do the same to you. But don't just take my word for it. This is what our Global Titans community has to say. So what are you waiting for? Get going.
So that, like I said, our Global Titan
Hi,
ambassador.
my name is Vanessa and I'm The Global
Get
Titans
out of-
Ambassador at
Let me get rid of that. And so I'll go over the application in a moment. But yeah, so those are the kind of projects and things that we give our ambassadors to do. One other thing, I won't get into the presentation mode because there's only 2 more slides really. If you want to know more about what the Global Titan ambassadors are up to or are doing, I invite you to come participate in Super Bowl, which is our Global Titan Ambassador International Education Week event for this year. They've been working really, really hard on it. I've seen a preview of the presentation they're going to do, and it looks fun and amazing and delicious. And so it is this Friday, November 20th from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Perfect time for lunch. It is Super Bowl, so maybe you have some soup handy to enjoy at the same time. They're going to give us a little tell some fun stories, talk about different kinds of soups, play some games, and it should be really fun. And the thing that I really like about these events is that our philosophy is student-led, student-driven, but EIP approved. And so they always get the clearance from us, but other than that, everything is their ideas. And so it's a really great program. So I'm going to go in now to the Global Titans Ambassador Program brochure and application and show you what that looks like. And so if you go to, I guess I should show you first where our applications are. So if you go to our website, okay, so our website is extension.fullerton.edu/studyabroad/. You can search our programs. And this is normally the portal where our students would go to search programs if they wanted to study abroad or study away. This is not a study abroad or away program, essentially, because you're here volunteering, but our applications are housed in our system. For this program and the buddy program, you can change your application type to program enrollment. So if you click on program enrollment and then hit search, you'll find the different programs that we have. You'll see the Global Titan Buddy Program and the Global Titan Ambassador Program. So that's where you can find the application. So here we are. Okay, and a little bit about the overview. The application cycle is open. We actually take applications way late into spring, giving a lot of students every opportunity to try and apply. So the application deadline for this year is going to be mid-April, so April 16th, and it's going to give me some time to review them, and students will start to hear back by end of April. What we did this year with our first cohort and our second cohort is we actually have a closing ceremony for the current year's ambassadors. We have a really great celebration, and then we also welcome the incoming ambassadors as well, and we do that right around finals. So this gives us time to accept, get to know everybody, and then have a really nice celebration at the end of the year. And so, as I said, it is a year-long service. So you would have to be serving from academic year 21 to 22, and the start dates become the beginning of May of next year to the end of May, to the beginning of May 22. It is 1 year of service. So if you like what you're seeing so far, you can hit the apply now button. You can request info, or you can just directly email me. But again, as I mentioned, our ambassadors are real, they're student representatives, and the commitment is for 1 year. I get questions such as, well, can it be 1 semester? There's a lot to this program and a lot of training. And so the onboarding itself, you would be training the whole semester before you really kind of get to appreciate the program. So because of training purposes, it does tend to be 1 year. If you have completed a ambassador service for 1 year, you do get to extend to 1 semester because you'll already have known the information. So it just takes some time to get used to it. And so that's why right now it's a year-long commitment. Okay, in terms of the requirements, what do they actually do? So first of all, they do complete an orientation where I go over the expectations of the Global Titan Ambassador Program with them. They complete a mandatory training or trainings. When we were in person, it was just a day-long training, but because we were virtual, we broke it up into 8 different trainings. They participate in meetings. They get together 1 or 2 times a month. Right now, they're doing that as well to plan for IEW's events. They complete a minimum of the following activities at minimum. We do have ambassadors who actually have the time and they like things, and they always sign up for more than just what's on this list. But at minimum, they give 1 information session a month during the fall. Oops, I need to update that. During the fall and spring semesters. The info session is like, what are our programs? How does financial aid work? And that's part of the training that they get. They participate in summer orientation, whether that's tabling when we were in person, or like, for example, making that video that I just showed you, or maybe making some flyers that we need to give to incoming freshmen and transfer students. They assist us with the Fall and Spring Global Engagement Expo that we just had back in October, or our study abroad fairs when we were in person. They also create and attend one ambassador-led event for IEW. So in this case, it's like the Super Bowl that I just mentioned. They'll be helping us with things like Welcome to Fullerton Day, or whatever virtual version of that they're going to roll out with for the spring. They do participate in campus interviews with us. So a lot of our SAGE programs actually require interviews in order to be accepted into the program. A lot of the ambassadors sat through these interviews. And so they join us in asking the students questions. For them, that was, many ambassadors have said that's one of their favorite things to do, is because they learn how to be better interviewees by attending these campus interviews and seeing how they can learn and how they can be better when they're on the other side of the table, having to talk about themselves, their experiences, their strengths, their challenges. So they really like that. And they like getting to know the students and why they want to do things like study abroad. When we're sending students abroad or away, we have pre-departure workshops. So the students are there to kind of help give their expertise. They do participate in a re-entry event for themselves. So like I mentioned, coming back from being abroad or even being away can come with some challenges. So they have to attend one event that kind of helps them find ways to use their new skills. They're going to help and create 5 social media posts per semester. So that gives them social media experience, marketing experience. They have to complete a personal ambassador project for themselves. As you'll see in the application, you have to submit a proposal. Like, what event, what do you want to host that will help students be more globally engaged? And so we go through executing that project. They have to complete 3 reflections, one at the end of summer, one at the end of fall, and one at the end of spring, about what their service, what their experiences were like so far. And at the end of all of this, they will have completed an e-portfolio of their year's contributions. That way they have this collection of work to kind of show future employers or anybody, like, I've done this, I've led an event like this before, this is some of the marketing materials that I've made before. And so what it kind of looks like is about 90 service hours minimum for the academic year. 60 in the summer and the fall because of the trainings, onboarding, getting set up. 30 in the spring, it kind of lightens up. It looks like a lot, it sounds like a lot, but remember, our ambassador said it was fun. They find that it's manageable. Like, it's not all at once, it's spread out across an entire year. So it is really manageable for our students. And we have 9 of them, and I have not lost one yet. So what do you get out of serving the SAGE office, aside from having fun, getting to know other people? Here are some of the incentives. Is just you get a certificate of participation from me. You get a really strong letter of recommendation. Our ambassadors, I surveyed them in the first year. What was their favorite thing about the program? What was the incentive that meant the most to them? And hands down, they said that the letter of recommendation was the most meaningful incentive that they got out of the program, which is important, because when you're applying for jobs, having somebody who knows you so well and knows what your strengths, what your areas of growth are, and the kind of work that you produce is really, really valuable. They get a reference for future jobs, such as me or other members of the SAGE team. We work really closely together, so that's already at least 3 future references. They get a lot of professional development opportunities, and then the farewell lunch reception, or the closing ceremony that we had at the end, like I mentioned. To be eligible for this program, you have to be enthusiastic and committed to helping students study abroad or away. Be enrolled as a student at Cal State Fullerton. You have to have participated in a SAGE program, whether that is study abroad, away, or in some cases now, because of COVID, some of our virtual programs. Have a cumulative GPA of a 2.75 or higher, and have earned a 2.75 GPA when you were abroad or away or on your program. And then be in good academic standing and disciplinary standing, and most importantly, be coachable and able to receive and incorporate feedback. We work as a team together, and so it's important that if I have feedback, that you're able to utilize it. That was one of the problems that I had with one of my first ambassadors that I had to let go, was no matter the feedback, no matter the coaching, the person couldn't budge, and that wasn't working. So just because you become an ambassador doesn't mean you stay one. And it's important that you're able to work really well with others. There's chances, and it's not like the first strike and you're out, but it's just, if it's proven that it's not working,
then some action may have to be taken. And so what is the application process? I think it's pretty easy, but to apply, there are 3 volunteer documents that you do have to submit, and that's just to make you official. This year, what I'm doing instead of an essay is the students have to produce a video. I think it's more valuable to see, to hear from students and see and hear from them. And so the video will ask them to tell us about their name, their year, what they're majoring in, a little bit about themselves, the SAGE program that they did. So whether it was a summer program, a virtual program, the service learning program, the impact that it had on them, what they think being a Global Titan means, and then why they're applying to be a Global Titans ambassador and how they plan to serve as an ambassador. So that's the video. And then they do have to complete just a brief sample outreach and recruitment proposal. This may not be what you end up doing, but we just want to see that you're engaged, maybe creative, or thinking about what do you think students' needs are that aren't being addressed by the SAGE team, that by the campus, or what is it that you might know about your peers or your generation that we don't, and this is a really good way to approach them. It could be a campaign, it could be a video, it could be an event, but how do you plan to help us recruit and encourage more students to be globally engaged? An electronic recommendation from a non-student member of the CSUF campus community. It could be an employer, an advisor, a faculty member. If you are an athlete, a coach. There will be an interview component by the Global Titan staff and students, and then a copy of your unofficial transcript to make sure that you meet the GPA requirement. And so that's it. If you have any questions, you can always email me. I'm the lead for this program, but that's it. So I see that there was a chat. Oh no. Has everything I've been sharing been okay?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. So that message was from a while ago. Okay, great. So, and let me stop sharing right now and get a look at everybody. Marissa, did you have any questions on being an ambassador?
No, it was, I had a question about having to do the program, but you answered it about the eligibility.
Oh, cool. Okay, good. And I mean, the ambassadors came to the class. So when they were, that was the group of students that I oversee. So you actually have already had some personal experience or engagement with them, which is great. So that's essentially what they're doing. But if you have any questions, if you come up with anything later down the line, feel free to ask me. And what's great is because you're just starting out, you have time to do any number of our programs, sign up to be an ambassador. We have an ambassador who this is actually her 2nd year being an ambassador, and she has studied abroad twice, and she has been trying to apply again and again to study abroad. So, you have a very exciting CSUF career ahead of you. So I look forward to you being an ambassador.
Thank you.
Cool. Juim, oops, I didn't realize I have some issues here. Are you ready for me to pass it on to you?
I am ready.
Awesome. All right. And so I don't think I'm sharing my screen anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and mute and turn off my camera and give it to you.
Cool. You see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Hello, Marissa. So my name is Juim Kim again, and I am also a study abroad and global engagement advisor, just like Eileen. And I run the Global Titans Buddy program, which we are doing virtual for this semester. So I'm going to kind of talk about how this program has been going during fall 2020. And yeah, cool. So what is the Buddy program? So this is a program that many institutions do offer on their campus, and we also offer it here. So the Buddy program is a group of CSUF student volunteers who help visiting international students adapt to campus life and American culture. So oftentimes, students also come to Cal State Fullerton to study abroad. So we like to connect those students with one of our local CSUF students, and our students get to be their friend for the semester and answer any questions that they have in regards to CSUF, studying, where to go, socializing, and just living here in Fullerton. So this program was developed to help those incoming international students meet American students and other international students quickly, because even for local students, but especially for incoming international students, many of them had a harder time meeting local students. And so this program really helped get them situated even before they even arrived to Cal State Fullerton, and have that connection with at least one student. And from there, they were able to kind of branch out and meet more people after that. And so for CSUS students, this is a really great program because you get to gain that international experience. This is definitely also a cultural exchange where you get to share your personal culture, American culture, and then vice versa. You also learn about your buddy's culture. This could also be a language exchange if you want it to be. And really, at the end of the day, you're making an international connection and an international friend. Okay. So typically in the past, our buddy program has been in person. So because of the global situation this fall semester, because everything's virtual, this program is also virtual. So that's been, an adjustment for all of us as well. But it's been working out very nicely. And because we don't have many visiting international students this semester, it's a mix of current students who are international, who are currently here, and then, but mainly a lot of the students who are participating in this program right now, who are the visiting international students, are actually past students that were part of this program. And so what we did was we extended the invite again to all the past study abroad students and asked them, hey, we're doing this program virtually this semester. Would you be interested in joining our program again? And making another friend. And so, yeah, we had a little over about 11, 12 international students who signed up for fall 2020. And we had, I think, about, 60 people, local CSUS students that signed up for the program. And so we weren't actually able to match everybody to a buddy, but some of the international buddies agreed to have multiple CSUF buddies, and so we were able to match those students with multiple students. So it really depends on the international students whether they are okay with having more buddies. In the past, when we had this program in person, we actually had more international students than domestic students. And so what we had to do, it was actually the other way around. We had to give our local students like 2 buddies because we just didn't have enough, CSUF students. So so right now it's kind of the opposite problem, but that's okay. And even if students don't get paired, we still invite all the students to all of our activities, and through our activities, you get to meet all the buddies that are part of this program. So you get to meet international buddies, but you also get to meet local students, right? So other CSUF students, and you can make a network and make that connection as well. So all of our programming throughout the semester, it is virtual. And one of the best things about doing things virtually is that, we can all meet online. And one thing I didn't mention also was because we have invited the past international students to this program, many of them are back in their home country, whether it's in Brazil, in Europe, in Asia. And so they're actually zooming in from their home country, which is also really fascinating. And we make it work by offering the program those activities at different times to kind of accommodate everybody. Okay, so what are some of the requirements to be part of this buddy program? We do want CSUS students to be current students who have completed at least 1 full semester at Cal State Fullerton. And the reason why we have this requirement is because, we do have many transfer students at Cal State Fullerton. And if you're a transfer student, and if this is your first semester at Cal State Fullerton, I'm sure everything's very new to those students as well. So we kind of want whether you're first semester freshman or a transfer student, we want you to kind of adapt first and get situated at Cal State Fullerton, and then after a semester, hopefully by then you're more familiar with everything at Cal State Fullerton, and you're able to kind of advise and help international students. So that's kind of the reasoning behind that. Being good in academic standing. There is a mandatory orientation training that happens to be part of this program. We would like you to stay updated on all the events that we host throughout the semester. This program is for the entire semester. So if you're part of this program, we do want you to kind of follow through until the end of the semester. Please be respectful of cultural, religious, political, and sexual orientation differences. Be willing to devote your time to your buddy, especially during the first few weeks. So again, in spring 21, when we do this program again, this will look a little bit different because we don't really have visiting students coming in person in spring 21. So, when students come and study abroad at Cal State Fullerton, those first few weeks are very key because they're new, they don't really know what's going on, and so we ask students to kind of reach out. But even when we do this program virtually, I think it's nice to just reach out immediately right from the start. And just kind of connect, engage with your buddy throughout the semester. And then the reason why we also say devote time to your buddy is because we've seen that in the past, students will just sign up for this program and they get paired with their buddy and they don't, and they just get busy and they don't really devote time to their buddy, which has become an issue. So we really look for volunteers who have time and are willing to dedicate some time to their buddy throughout the semester. And then also have effective communication skills. So what are some of the benefits from joining this program? Well, again, you get to connect with an international student and also other domestic students. You get to practice another language if you want to. You learn about new cultures and you also become more globally aware. Maybe you get paired with a student from Germany and you've never met a person from Germany, and you get to just learn about their culture, and then likewise you get to share your culture with them. You get to promote international education on campus. You develop interpersonal and communication skills, and like I said, we on average we host about one event per month throughout the semester, and so and that invite is for everybody in the program. So we do host larger events at least once a month where everyone could come and network and meet each other and have fun. So what are some of the types of support that our buddies provide? Well, you become friends again with these visiting students. You get to share the American culture and also learn about their culture. You provide information about California, especially CSUF. The students might come to you and ask you, hey, I really need to do some laundry. Like, where can I go to buy some detergent? Or how do you use a washer and dryer here in the US? Because many countries elsewhere don't even have a dryer. So, being able to kind of walk them through the process. If you don't know how, you can always ask your friends. Or if someone wants to mail something to their family, like, hey, how do I mail something out? Just providing information like that. And oftentimes they'll ask you like, oh, I really want to go to a beach. Like, where's the best beach, nearest beach that you recommend I go to, right? It could be anything and everything. But I mean, oftentimes it's like questions about campus, like, oh, I want to check out a book at the library. Like, can you walk me through the process, or can you tell me where to go, stuff like that. So you're really helping these students adjust to their new life at Cal State Fullerton. And again, Spring 21 is remote, so that piece will look a little different. And the best thing about this program is you get to connect with your buddy at your own leisure time. That we don't tell you have to meet your buddy this day at this time. It's whatever works best for you guys, and you guys kind of coordinate. Awesome. And so there are a couple things that we ask you not to do as a buddy. The first one is offer academic advisement. And so oftentimes what happens is, maybe one of the buddies might come to you and ask you, hey, I'm a business major and you're a business major. Can you tell me which classes to take that you think are the easiest at Cal State Fullerton, right? So if a student if a student asks you a question like that, we ask you to refer them to our academic advisor for the visiting international students, which is Natalie Murr, and she works in our office, because it's not really our place to tell the student, oh, you should take this, and that, and you don't want to plan out their classes for them, because that's not our responsibility, and it's not even something that I can do as a study abroad and global engagement advisor. I can't even tell them what to take. They really just need to meet with Natalie and seek her advice. And but if a student says like, oh, like, how do I know which professors are good? There's websites that you can refer them to, right? Like ratemyprofessor.com or whatever it is. That's public information. But other than that, anything related to academics, you can just refer them back to our office. And the next thing is don't provide advice on immigration status. And this seems very obvious, but just to kind of give you an example, that many of our visiting international students like to travel. That's one of the things they want to do when they're here. And oftentimes during breaks, like Thanksgiving break or winter break, spring break, whatever break there is, when there's a longer breaks, students want to go somewhere further, outside of California. And Mexico tends to be a very popular destination just because it's so close. So a student might come to you and say, hey, Thanksgiving break is coming up, and me and some of the other international students were thinking about maybe visiting Mexico. Do you think that's a great idea? Like, do you think, can I go, right? And so as a buddy, you're like, oh, well, do you have a valid passport? And they're like, yeah, of course. Like, I just got here a month ago. I mean, my passport is not going to expire anytime soon. And you're like, yeah, that's great. Like, I have as long as you have a valid passport, you should be able to go to Mexico at any time and come back, right? And so that's kind of the rule we have for U.S. citizens. But for non-U.S. citizens, especially our students, visiting students, they have different rules and regulations. And so they can't just take off and go to another country and expect to come back. They do need to kind of go through our Global Titan Center and meet with international student advisors and seek signatures, travel signatures, and also depending on where the student is from, there's different rules and regulations. So if you have a buddy that wants to travel internationally, please just, again, have them come back to our office and meet with one of our international student advisors to kind of find out what the process is like for them. But within US, students are welcome to go to a different state, and it's not an issue. But as soon as they step out of the US, it becomes an issue. So and this, I think, has happened in the past. So we just we just want your help to inform these students to come back to our office if they have any questions about traveling. Also, please note that this is not a dating service. Let's keep it professional. I think we all know that. So one of the questions that we get sometimes is, well, what if I don't have a lot of time to spend with my buddy, or what if we don't get along? Well, again, this program, we don't enforce you to spend an X amount of time with them every week. It's really up to you and your buddy to decide how much time you want to spend together. I know, for example, right now, some of the buddies, they tell me that they connect with their buddy at least once a week virtually. Some of them just chat all the time using like Kakao Talk or different messengers. And so it really depends on your buddy. But some buddies, they just meet occasionally throughout the semester. Some of them hang out all the time. So, you know, obviously, like our hope is that you guys become lifelong friends. But, you know, and we've had many buddies that became really good friends and even went to go visit their buddies internationally, which I think is really awesome. So just remember that this program is about friendship and support. And if there are any larger issues or, you know, or anything like that, I mean, don't hesitate to let me know. Alrighty, so here's just a sample of the virtual events that we hosted this semester, and we're still not quite done yet. Just to kind of give you an idea of the types of events that we host for you guys. And so these buddy programs are really majority of them are really created just for you. And so, you know, in the beginning of the semester, we like to do a little meet and greet. Everyone comes, gets together, and we, you know, do some icebreakers. And then we had a Global Engagement Expo, which we do every semester. And so we'll probably have this again next semester, where we invite you to be part of a student panel. And you get to share your experience, which is really inspiring. And then we had a game night, which was super fun. Lots of students came out and had a blast. And earlier last week, we had a culture sharing event where students got to kind of share different cultures, which I find really fascinating. And then next month, we're hosting a virtual art class. And so these events are just really meant for all the buddies to connect, have a good time, network, you know, share ideas, be inspired. You know, many of our buddies are like-minded. And many of our local buddies have studied abroad before or away, but that's not a requirement. You don't need to have studied abroad to be part of this program. But, you know, oftentimes we do find that many of our study abroad alum will join this program because they know exactly how it feels to go abroad as a visiting student in a foreign place and not know it, and they don't know anybody when they go abroad, and you know, and it can get lonely, and so, and maybe they had a buddy too when they studied abroad, and they had a really great experience, and maybe not as a great experience, and so they want to come back and be a buddy to somebody else that comes to Cal State Fullerton, or and I've also had students who said, you know, they maybe didn't have a good buddy while they were abroad, so they want to be part of this program and become a really like the best buddy to somebody else. So, I mean, everyone has really different reasons of joining this program. We also have students who've never left the country who join this program, and they just really want to get that global experience, international experience, you know, make an international friend and have that global engagement. And this program is really great for all students, all majors. It doesn't really matter what your background is, it's for everybody. So how do you apply for this program? So it's online. I think Eileen showed us earlier how to find and search for the program, but here's also a link. And I could maybe put the link in the chat if you want it. But basically it's just some signature documents where you have to sign off on some forms, like the liability form, student conduct agreement form. There's a marketing release form in case we, you know, snap photos and we want to, I don't know, promote and use it in social media or something like that. There is a buddy program questionnaire where we will ask you questions like, oh, what are your 3 hobbies? You know, do you speak any languages? Do you want this to be a language exchange? What language do you speak? You know, if you're a visiting student, like what's your home institution's, you know, what's the name and what country are you from if you're a visiting student? No, questions like that. And so really that little questionnaire helps me pair you guys together, because oftentimes, you know, the best way for students to get paired is usually by similar interests. And so when I see that students have similar interests, then you know, that usually helps students connect better. And there's also a mandatory training where all students are supposed to kind of sit through a presentations very similar to this, where I kind of go over all the rules and what this program entails and all the expectations. Yeah, and the deadline, I believe, is for spring 21. If you want to join this program, the deadline is January 4th. And then a week after, you should find out if if you get if you're accepted to the program and if you're a buddy. I mean, most students get accepted to the program, but it's just a matter of figuring out if you're actually going to get a buddy for the semester, depending on how many international visiting students sign up. So yeah, any questions, Marissa? I mean, you're really the only student here right now. Did you have any questions?
No, it was really good. I think it's a good program. I think it's nice because you get to, it's like an opportunity to get to meet people and people that aren't always, you know, over here. So I think it is a good way to kind of venture out and get to know people.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, would you be interested in maybe joining this program at some point? Maybe?
Yeah, I think I am. I think that it's very interesting. For me, I love getting to know people and I love connecting with people. I try my best, you know, virtually right now. I'm trying to connect, but it is very awkward sometimes during breakout rooms. But I do think it is a very nice thing that's going on.
Right, and Marissa, you're a freshman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing. Like, you know, especially if you're new and you're a freshman, you're a transfer student, and you know, you're excited to be here, but everything's virtual. It's just that much harder to meet people. And so even joining, I mean, I highly recommend joining clubs on campus. You know, most clubs also do all the programming virtually, which I think is really awesome. So if, you know, I think one of the best ways to connect with people is, you know, joining programs like this, you know, and this is really one of, yeah, like the best way how you meet people and make connections, and you know, also like meet like-minded individuals like yourself, or maybe even different people, right? It's just a mix of different people. And also we have, you know, over 3,000 international students at Cal State Fullerton, but yeah, it's hard to meet them and become friends, right? Because it's, you know, our culture is not the type of culture where we just randomly approach someone like in the street or outside on campus and start chatting with them. And you know, that's usually not how you become best friends. And so, yeah, these programs really help students like make friends. And honestly, I know all the buddies in this program, and everybody that's part of this program. I mean, they're really, really awesome. And I get really excited every time we get together because I feel like everyone's so awesome and great. And I really want everyone to become best friends because, you know, everyone's really kind, everyone's really good. And really fun. So yeah, I hope you can join this program sometime.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll end it there. Do you know who that is, Marissa?
Last slide.
It's BTS.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Everyone knows BTS. Yeah, even my daughter knows BTS, and she's only 6.
She's gonna become a fan.
You stop recording this, right?
I mean, I will now.